Hey everyone, on today's episode of Humor Syndrome, we are talking about Destruction AllStars. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I am joined by none other than car enthusiast, Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
How you doing, Blood?
Doing good.
I demanded this episode happened.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like, I was not playing this game, and then you're like, you want to shoot today? I'm like, what? Okay, and like put a couple more hours in.
So, yeah, I want to know what you think about Destruction AllStars because I really like this game.
Okay.
And it's going to spiral into another conversation of like, where does this game where can it exist in people's lives? Mm-hmm. But first and foremost, what do you think about Destruction AllStars?
Honestly, it doesn't grab me. It doesn't hook me. It feels very, very dry.
Damn it.
Did they get rid of the announcers? Because I know the announcers were pretty repetitive at first, and now it's like, it's in the single player stuff, but it's not online. I hadn't heard announced there like all afternoon.
Yeah, maybe they reduced it, or maybe it's like an audio glitch. But I could have sworn it was still there, like once in a while for like a big call if something goes down. Yeah, it's funny you say that because I agree there's not a lot of depth. Sure. There's not only so much you can do, but there's just something I keep coming back to, Blood. I just keep like finding myself wanting to play a couple matches in between things I'm doing throughout the day because it's just like bumper cars. Destruction Derby. And I just like the team modes a lot. I really like Carnado quite a bit. Just kind of when you decide to blow up your car versus banking more points. There's not a lot of depth, and also there's not a lot of variety. But even the like just doing Carnado over and over again, I'm like finding myself addicted, Blood. Like I don't know what's going on with me, man.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the two team modes are better than the two solo modes. Mm-hmm. Mayhem, right, is the default?
Yep, Mayhem and Gridfall.
Yeah, Mayhem is all right. But yeah, Gridfall just, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like there's just something about it that like it doesn't feel like you're really like navigating around those spaces very well or being strategic with them. It's just like, oh, I didn't see this part of the floor was gonna fall and now I'm dead.
Yeah.
I think the long and kind of inconsistent matchmaking times are part of that, because like there'll be times when you'll get stuck in like this weird loop and it won't match, and it'll be like no matches found kind of messages and that kind of thing, and so if you go through all that and then you get into Gridfall and you're dead like 10 seconds later, like, well, totally. I guess I'll try again.
Totally.
I do feel too that there's a lot of different things that I'm trying to put my finger on, like what is it about this that like I like the concept. I like some of the things that they're doing with like the rule sets of like Carnado and Stockpile.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't feel like it has the hits or the impact, or like it's a lot of fun, and like I feel like there's not good way to sort of chain things together. I feel like, you know, like if you had like, rather than just like because right now like the only things that you smash are your opponents.
Yeah.
And I feel like it would be better if there was more obstacles, if there was more like stuff like burnout billboards to smash through, and hitting other things, and you know, and chaining through like a gymkhana in dirt, right? You just smash through a whole line of dominoes or something, or set off some kind of chain reaction. But like when you're just doing the dogfighting and you're like right next to a guy and you think you're about to hit him from the side and like whoops, you know, and then like, a lot of those moments they just sort of whiff, and I feel like maybe they have too many characters off the bat.
Too many characters off the bat. I agree with that. Because everyone's
and it's
abilities...
not clear, what their abilities are.
Yeah,
you go
kind
into
of
practice to kind of see what they are before you go into a match.
For sure, and some of them just seem like more useful than others right from the get-go. The more offensive ones, I feel like you just probably want to have those. Just the strategy involved, actually, I was starting to learn as I was playing more of bailing out of your car. You're talking about just like hitting each other. I do like the idea of like your car is weak, bail out, swap cars, and just kind of like...
especially if you want to get the hero cars, you know.
Exactly.
Pop out for a sec, pick up some shards. You know, if
Yep.
there's a good line of shards you can get. You know, and that's it. You know, and that's like another thing is like you can do this like melee barge when you're running around. And, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I also don't feel like what's the point of like my walking around, my super or whatever. I forget what that's called.
One of them
Breaker.
I actually thought was really good. Lupita, I believe. She's like the fox character. When she's on foot, she can turn on fire. That thing was
sure. Yeah.
burning enemies down, just burning them down. And then punching too. It was useful once. You know, I punched a guy before they got into a car. But you were saying about obstacles. There's the free. I say it with quote unquote the free campaign
Right.
that they're giving away, and I went through that, and one of the modes in there was really fun. There were mines everywhere in the arena,
Right.
and you have to get all the time cubes or whatever scattered around. I liked that kind of mode, and I feel like that could transfer, like you were kind of saying, just adding more elements to the arena rather than just smashing into each other.
Yeah. The campaigns definitely have some other modes in there that are not in multiplayer that could have some potential.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just like there's like it's weird because there's like not a lot there, but also not a lot of focus for what is there. It feels like again with the one thing that like kind of like cements that to me is like you have to sort of juggle like character names and car names and like
Totally.
so which one am I playing?
Yeah. Yes. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, are you talking about my car? Yeah, I was confused for a little bit there too. Bloodworth, I want to talk about. I have a lot of questions that neither of us will probably have answers for, but I personally like this game, Bloodworth. I know you're not really hooked on it, but I do. There is something very satisfying when I get in there and I side punch someone, wreck them, get their points, and I build up that Carnado all the way up to 50 or 80 and bank it. There's something good about that. At the same time, I'm wondering when am I really gonna play this game? You know, time is so limited as it is. There are so many games competing for our time. It's really hard to play more than one ongoing game at a time, you know, when you have all these other games you're playing too. Do you think this bubble is gonna burst, Bloodworth, where these online live service games will maybe dry up because there's just so much? The ones that are established, you know, your Fortnites, your Apex, they just have such a strong foothold there. Or because there's something about this game that I just like. Again, I just love it, but I can't imagine people sticking with it. Here I am passionately defending it on Huber Syndrome, Bloodworth, and I'm even like, I'm probably not going to play this that much more.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely room for the right games, but it's, you know, again, it's like you've got to have that reason for people to come back and, you know, and get better. And I feel like that stuff is not there. Like, I've you know, I've gotten up to like rank 10 or 11 or something, you know, and it's like, okay, I can look through and change up some skins, but I don't.
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
really feel like why am I keep playing? I don't feel like I'm getting better. I feel like
none of that stuff is
even
good.
with like a lot of the matches, you know, it like I'm not sure how they like figure out how to match people together because I feel like it's more often than not to me when I play the game, it's a blowout.
Yeah.
Either I don't have a chance to win or
Rarely.
I don't have a chance to lose.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get a close match.
I've had a couple close ones, and that's what I'm talking about. When everything is really humming, there's some times when I'm just like, man, this is simple pleasures. This reminds me of just Twisted Metal days, you know. Games are so big and complex now. It's kind of nice to just go in, drive around, and smash each other.
Right.
But you did bring up a great point about wanting, like, playing more and giving a reason to come back. I mean, there's no battle pass. Like you were saying, every time you level up, you just get 1,000 coins, and I have no desire to spend those on anything for any of the characters. There's nothing really to chase.
Right, but that's the thing too. Is like customizing my character in my car feels almost pointless.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I feel like I need abilities, right? Like you need like, you know, those Call of Duty, you know, selecting your perks and all of those sorts of things. You know, it's like
that's a way to take it.
You
I
know,
wasn't
it's like-
thinking that.
yeah, because it's just
Okay.
what's again,
Oh,
like
Blood,
that's
you're
the thing.
so
It's
right.
like I don't know how to get better at this
Yeah.
game. I
Blood,
feel
you're-
like my matches now are the same as my matches on the first night.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I can, learn the momentum of the cars a little bit better. I can learn some specific abilities a little bit better and some strategies, but it's like at a certain point, it's like I just don't feel like there's a big path to improve.
You just blew my mind, Blood, because they were clearly going for like MLG competitive game, because there's no like pay to win, there's no abilities or anything. But maybe they should have gone the other way, like you're saying, and just earn currency, earn abilities. Like, can you imagine if your character could swap their tires and have like spike tires or flame tires or oil dripping tires or something? Then there'd be a reason to experiment, a reason to grind and unlock those things. I see that, dude.
There's also not anything that really binds like teamwork, Like I like one of my favorite things in the game is in stockpile, like, seeing like there's a pile of gears. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna snag that pile of gears.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna, capture one of the bases. But there's not like support roles. Like I can't like go down there and lay down a shield and like block other people while one of my teammates, goes in and grabs those gears or anything like that. Or I can't heal another person's car. Like there's just not any sort of opportunities for reasons to work together in team play. So team play is just essentially everybody like trying to, work on their own and build towards the common score.
Slamming into my teammates all the time. I've done it. Accidental, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing back to the characters, one of the things that I thought was really weird, you have to like click a button to see what the character's abilities are. Even though there's all this space on the screen. It's like, why can't I just like go down the character select screen and see like what are your abilities again?
Yeah, it's kind of buried. It's weird.
And they're like, there needs to be like a quick like, this is like top line, the simple part, and then like whatever the little details are below it, because a lot of them it's just like, okay, I'm reading like a few sentences to understand what this character does.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Like I feel like I don't want to just like pick it apart, but I'm trying to figure out why I'm just like get into this game and like I should like this. I feel like I would like to love this game,
No, and like I'm acknowledging it's flawed. Like everything you've said, Blood, is correct. Like we're harsh on it, but rightfully so. Like the game definitely has flaws. It's just there's something about the simple pleasures of smashing into cars that just hooked me.
Well, we don't have a lot of it,
Exactly, and that's what I was.
Wreckfest is still going. Like Wreckfest has been actually, you would talk about a game that like
Wreckfest
has legs. Like they keep adding content to Wreckfest, and I haven't, I'm not the type of person that checks in with multiplayer games a lot, but I do see, I get the emails, I see the tweets and stuff, and like, oh, Wreckfest has got some other big old track going on that looks kind of cool,
Anytime, Bloodworth, you want to play Wreckfest, I am so down. That sounds like it's gonna do it. That is Destruction AllStars. I am watching cautiously but optimistically for the future of this game. We'll see, when they release more campaigns, hopefully a battle pass at some point, maybe new modes. The fact that you cannot play those single player modes with a party is just absurd. It's just absolute, like, let me just grab a buddy and play a simple round of Mayhem. So I imagine that quality of life stuff, first couple months of an online game, get all that stuff worked out. But Destruction AllStars, will it continue on? We will see. Time will tell. That was Daniel Bloodworth. I'm Michael Huber. We are Easy Allies. If you like what you saw, help us out on Patreon. We are supported by you, by the generosity of all of you, and that's how we continue to do weird videos about weird games like Destruction AllStars. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Love and respect.